And now let's proceed to the discussion about the 5 R's of creative nonfiction, the types of creative nonfiction, and its guidelines. So, Lee Gutkind is a writer, a professor, and also an expert who write an essay about the 5 R's of creative nonfiction. So, in his essay, he identified 5 essential elements of creative nonfiction. First R of this element is creative nonfiction has a real life aspect. So writers construct essays or creative nonfiction based on its personal experiences and also based on the people's real events, true events. Second R is write writer engaging in personal reflection. So, in creative nonfiction, writers wrote essays or creative nonfictions about about gathered information which they assess, they analyze, and they collected it. So, in that information, they must evaluate it and express their thoughts, views, and opinions. So, their personal opinion is permissible and encouraged upon writing a creative nonfiction. Third R is creative nonfiction requires that the writer complete research. So writers are encouraged to do or conduct research first, enable to learn and evaluate or to discover the written topic or the pieces. So if a writer is about creating personal essay, they need to conduct first a research, either to interview a friend or a peer, enable to gather more factual and truthful information. So the next R is reading. So a creative nonfiction, uh, whenever we write a creative nonfiction, writer needs to read while conducting the research. So writer must read the work of the master of his profession and able to identify and evaluate and assess effectively the piece. Next, the final element of creative nonfiction is writing. So in writing, when we do a creative nonfiction, we write. So it needs about writers' talent, skills, and abilities, enable to produce or to deploy a kind of piece that is effective, that is creative. So therefore, it is important that a writer have a special talent or have a creative mind or imagination, enable to produce or to give a creative works. Now let's proceed to the types of creative nonfiction. So when we say creative nonfiction, it pertains to artistic works regarding that is based on fact and truth. So the truth means here is can be about personal experiences, personal event, and personal issues of someone. So there are categories and genres to choose. Namely, first, the personal essays. So the writer craft essays that is based on the personal experiences or a single events. So second is memoir. The writer crafts a story or true story regarding time or period in his life. The third type is the literary journalism or essay. So it is essays that is about issues or topic using literary devices such as the elements of fiction and figurative languages. The fourth is autobiography. It is about accounts of someone that is written by that own person. So it is based on the writer's life story from birth to present. The fifth one is travel writing. So it is essays or articles regarding about travel using literary devices. The next one is food writing. It is about essays or stories about food and cuisines with the use of other literary devices. The last type of creative nonfiction is profiles. So profiles pertaining to the writers construct biographies or essays pertaining to real people using literary devices. And now let's proceed to the guidelines for writing a creative nonfiction. So those aspiring writers or those writers already have their techniques and strategies and able to produce good works. So here we will identify 12 guidelines for writing any type of creative nonfiction. First guideline is research the topic. It is important that we will do a research, a primary and secondary research, and able to effectively assess and evaluate the topic we have. So in primary research, we can have an interview, we can base it from personal experiences, and we can have our participants to support our topic. So in secondary research, we can seek information through books, magazines, newspapers, or web. Next is never invent or change facts. So it is important that we should never invent or change fact, because when we invent stories, it is already a fiction. So it will deviate to the perspectives or to the goal of nonfiction. So third is provide an accurate information. So we are dealing here with fact and we're dealing here with facts and truthfulness. So it is important that we will provide honest and truthful information that is verifiable. Next is provide concrete evidences through using facts, examples, and quotations that can legitimately support our topics. Next is use humor to make an important point. Next, show the reader what happened. Don't tell them what happened. So readers will believe more about facts that can be seen. So it is important that we tell them, but we should also consider of the readers that they are more interesting upon seeing an information and not only telling them what really happened. Next is narrate the story. So whenever we create or write a creative nonfiction, we are trying to introduce stories regarding its goal, its incident, its conflict, its challenges, its climax, and its resolution based on facts. Next is write about the interesting and extraordinary. So readers will make more interested and will catch their attention if we will provide unique perspectives regarding real life events or in everyday life. Next is organize the information. So mostly writers is use two common techniques, which are chronological and logical order. So whenever writer write a creative nonfiction, they have already their options or techniques to choose, enable to deliver successfully their works. Next, use literary devices to tell stories. So whenever we choose languages, we writers want to make our readers guess the meaning. So sometimes writers use literary devices enable to entertain more and to give more spice to their pieces. Next is introduce the essay or other work with a hook. So the primary purpose of this writing a creative nonfiction is to grab or to catch the attention of the readers. So it is important that writers use popular hooks enable to grab the interest of the readers. Might be through quotations, through questions, or through provoking facts. So end the creative nonfiction piece with a final important point. So it is a good point if the writer will end their piece with a bang. So through leaving conclusions to the minds of our readers, the story will make more interesting, and the readers will be more engaged to the piece of the writer. And that concludes my presentation about the 5 R's of creative nonfiction, its type, and its guidelines. I hope you've learned something from me. Thank you very much.